Hey y'all, welcome back to my southern kitchen. So today we are going to be making chili, and it's my granddaddy's chili, and seriously it is the best chili that you'll ever eat. So I've kind of got a few things started just to make this a little quick and easy for y'all. Some of the things that I do may seem a little bit unorthodox, but I promise you, try it one time and you will never ever do it any other way. I promise you. So my granddaddy makes the best chili. We've all kind of thrown in a little bit here and there, and it's fabulous. It's perfection. So once it's done, and of course you want to let your chili simmer for a couple hours. Once it's done, you can put a little cheese on it and some oyster crackers, or we love to put cheese in it and eat it with tortilla chips and do like a little chili dip, and it's so good either way. So it's really whatever y'all prefer. So, of course, I'm going to post the recipe for you so you'll have the exact amounts, because obviously we're doing a little video, so I'm not going to be a quarter cup of this and a teaspoon of that. We're not going to do any of that, but follow me on Instagram and you'll get the exact recipe. So I've already started on the bell peppers, so you're going to use 4. 2 green bell peppers, 2 red. I've already got 3 of them done. I just mix them all together because it really doesn't matter. So I wanted to save 1 because I have an amazing way to cut peppers so that you can not deal with the seeds and veins and, all of that. That's kind of annoying. Get you a good set of kitchen knives. Don't try to cook with, crappy kitchen knives. So I don't go through the hassle of chopping off the top, chopping off the bottom. I don't do any of that. I cut around it. So you really just end up with that you can throw in your compost pile, especially if you garden or, whatever you like to do. If you, live out where you have deers, animals, things like that, you can certainly pitch those out back because the rabbits and stuff love them. So once you get that chopped off, you really just end up with these nice little, pieces here that are super easy to work with. You don't want to cut your veggies too small. Because your chili is going to simmer for a couple hours, so you definitely want to have some good bitey pieces of your veggies. You just don't want to end up with a bunch of mush. You want a little bit of a bite to your vegetables, and that is why I do not saute my veggies before I put them in my chili. They get watered down. They get, usually people do it in an olive oil or butter, and they just get... they're mush. There's nothing to them. And you want a little bit of a bite. And since your chili does simmer for a few hours, you don't need to saute them. I promise you, cooking in all those yummy juices, they are going to soften up just fabulously. So do not saute your vegetables before you put them in chili. You cook out a lot of their yummy flavor when you do that as well. And when you don't want to add butter and olive oil drippings to your chili. And I drain my ground beef. I don't just cook it and throw everything right in there. I do cook my ground beef. I put that through a strainer, a nice big strainer. Get all that grease off there, and then I get it back in the pot. And then I start adding all my yummies to that. So you just don't want a lot of oil and butter and things like that because, you're using ground beef, which has, its natural fats and juiciness. So you don't need anything extra. So cut your veggies and you're going to put them directly into your pot of chili. And as you see, it has taken us just a moment to cut this pepper when you trim around that edge like that, right? You don't need to deal with the, slicing around it and washing them off and peeling it and all of that. There's no need to do that. So you just trim right down the side, take off those 4 pieces, and then you've got a really, really easy pepper to work with. And so again, you're going to be using 2 green bells and 2 red, okay? You're also going to use a half an onion. I don't like more than half an onion. You don't want your onion to overpower your chili. It's very pungent. You're going to be using a Vidalia onion. I've already chopped mine, about a half of an onion. Vidalia onion is a sweet onion. They just are so much nummier. They definitely have that onion flavor, but it's not as doesn't have such a strong of a bite. So you're going to be using half of a sweet onion, Vidalia onion, and you're just chopping that into these pieces. And again, you're not going to go super, super small, you know, not completely minced, but a small chop. So we've got our bell peppers and our onions already done. So again, you're going to take half of a Vidalia onion or sweet onion, chop that up small. Don't use more than half. You don't need it, seriously. My ground beef, I already got that going for us. I use anywhere from between 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds. No less, no more, unless you're going to use a lot more ingredients, which is fine. Of course, sometimes you're cooking chili for a big crowd, right? So don't buy your ground beef in a tube. Don't buy that stuff. Get it regular package, 85% for your chili. 85%. I know a lot of people like the lean, 93, 97%. It's not good for burgers. It's not good for chili because you want some of that fat. That fat renders down. And again, you're draining this, but it's much more flavorful. So you're going to get 1.5 to 2 pounds. I've got 2 pounds today. 2 pounds of ground beef. Don't buy it in a tube. That stuff is, it even looks weird when you put it in a pot and you start cooking it. It's like got that pink slime stuff in it. It's really bad for you. It's disgusting. So just buy regular, butcher-packed ground beef. That's the way to go. I've already got mine done. I've already got it strained. So it is ready for us. So as you can see, it's done. There's nothing in here. I cook my ground beef down, drain it, transfer it back to your pot. I don't add any salt, no pepper, no nothing to my ground beef. You don't need it. Also, get you one of these tools from Pampered Chef. I love Pampered Chef. And this tool right here, when you're, mashing your ground beef, I always use the wooden spoon. My mama always used the wooden spoon. And I got one of these from my mother-in-law. And it's a lifesaver. And so, of course, I got my mama one too. And my mother loves it. I think she got one for my sister. But when you're mushing up your ground beef, that little guy there is amazing. It will change your life. So we've got our ground beef going over here. Again, we don't have any seasoning, anything like that. It's already been drained, so it's ready to go. So at this point, let's go ahead. We're going to add our bell peppers. Going to get all those nummies in there. And I know that seems like a lot, but we've got 2 pounds of ground beef. So really, after we add everything else, it's nothing. We've got our half of a sweet onion. Gonna drop that in there. And then again, my little Pampered Chef wooden spatula guy is amazing. Absolutely amazing. So get that all stirred in there. And it makes it so pretty. Once you get those vegetables in and you get everything mixed in, it really is so beautiful. It's so colorful. And we're coming up on spring, so it's like, Make a little bit of chili while you still can. Here it's only in the 40s today. It's drizzling a little bit. It's chilly outside. So it's chilly outside. It's like, hello, make chili. It's perfect. It's meant to be. So when you add all those veggies, you really just look how pretty that is. So gorgeous. I love it. That's why I say pretty cooking, pretty kitchen. It doesn't mean hello. It's pretty food. It's so pretty. Okay, so what we're going to do now, y'all, is kind of a secret in my family. Maters. Don't buy diced maters for your chili. Don't do that. You're going to get you 2 cans of stewed tomatoes. I drain 1 can, the other can I don't drain. Don't rinse them. Just drain one of the cans, the other don't. You end up with these big pieces of these stewed maters. That's tomatoes in Southern, y'all. So you end up with these big, luscious pieces of tomatoes. I'm telling you, the stewed tomatoes, you'll never want to use diced again. And I know that I'm going to chop them up a little bit. It's still not the same. So you're going to get a pair of kitchen scissors, and we're going to go right in here, and we're giving these a rough, I guess you would say chop, but we're giving them a rough cut. So as you see, I'm just kind of cutting off and these are kitchen scissors. These are not used anywhere else in my home except for my kitchen. Everybody in my home knows that if you take my kitchen scissors out of my kitchen, it's a big problem. So use your kitchen scissors. It's just like knives, so it's totally sanitary, y'all. These are only meant for food. We all have our kitchen scissors. If you don't, go get you some kitchen scissors, okay? So again, these are so soft, you could actually use your fingers and just kind of, mush them apart as well. But I like to get those, skins cut up as well. So really, you're just giving these big chops. So you're ending up with 1/2 inch to about 1 inch pieces. Don't overthink it. You don't need to measure them. Don't go get your kids, don't go get one of the kids' rulers out of their book bags or nothing. It's not that serious. So you're just doing little chops of these guys. And again, these are stewed tomatoes. I got the Great Value brand. That doesn't matter. It's literally Mater's off the vine. They stew them and can them. Doesn't matter who does it. Walmart will do it just as good as Albertsons. If you're not one of those people, I don't do off-brand on everything, but there are some things I will do off-brand. And Walmart actually has great off-brand. They really do. And so I know everybody just got a stimulus, but with the gas prices being the way that they are, you can save anywhere else that you can, and that's the truth. So it's not going to take you but a couple of moments. And again, you're just going to go through here. You're going to give these guys a rough, quick cut with your kitchen scissors. Sometimes they're a little slippery when you get to the ends of the maters. So wear something you don't mind getting a little mater juice on when you're cooking chili. Don't go put on a pretty white dress or a pretty white t-shirt that you absolutely love. Wear some kick-around clothes. Me, I always try to be casual but cute in my kitchen. I feel like there's no place in your home that a woman looks more attractive. And a man too, My husband doesn't cook. He can make a really good breakfast, which he'll do that on like Mother's Day or our anniversary and things like that. He'll get up and he'll make me a big breakfast and he'll serve it to me in bed. But other than breakfast, my husband's very lucky. He doesn't know how to cook and he's married to me, so he never will have to learn. But we're very traditional. We're very old school, and not everyone is like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, but definitely, I always try to look cute in my kitchen. My mother always told me, how you look is how you feel. When I was young in high school and stuff, she used to tell my sister and I, how you look is how you feel. And so that's always kind of stuck with me. So I think we've just about got these guys all cut up. As you see them kind of going in here and giving some of them a quick little mush. You don't have to do that, but I do like to go in and give them a quick little mush. And we've got these guys done. Almost. I missed one. And you can pour them all out and chop them, but they'll get all over your cutting board, and they're very saucy, and you'll have mater juice all over the place. To me, I just like to put them in a big bowl, get my kitchen scissors, give them a good chop, and then when you're chili, you end up with these big, fabulous pieces of maters in your chili, and it's so good. And these will also render down a little bit. They'll cook, they're stewed. So they're real tender, so they will fall apart a little bit on their own. There's not a whole lot you got to do to these guys. They will cook down quite a bit. So again, you don't need to go too small. You're looking for some of these bigger chunks, okay? And I'm only cooking for my family. My hands are clean. I'm a clean freak. I'm a neat freak. So don't worry about me using my hands. Most of us in our home kitchens, we do use our hands. And so you've got this bowl of stewed tomatoes. So again, this is stewed maters. You're going to get your kitchen scissors, give them a quick chop. When you buy stewed tomatoes, look at the can, because some of them are Italian style, Mexican style. Don't buy those. You just want the straight up, standard, no flavored stewed tomatoes. The other ones are good, but obviously you don't want to put Italian style stewed maters in your chili. I sent my husband to the store one day to get some, and he accidentally bought the Italian style. I felt so bad because I said, well, now you've got to go back and get the right can. So when you're buying your stewed tomatoes, make sure you pay attention and you just get, regular stewed maters, you don't want them to have any extra anything. Now, chili, I feel like a lot of people mess up when they do their chili because they buy chili packets. Don't do that. Do not buy chili packets. Chili seasoning in a packet, don't buy that stuff. You don't need to do that. It's very easy to flavor your chili amazingly and beautifully, and you don't need to get this chili seasoning packet. That's okay for tacos, that's okay for fajitas, not for chili. That is not okay. So, next thing we're going to go to is our beans. You're going to use 1 can of dark red kidney beans. You can buy light if you prefer light. I like the dark, so that's what we do. But if you want to do light red kidney beans, it won't make any difference. But these definitely are a little bit more bold. And so you're going to get 1 can of the dark red kidney beans, drain them, don't rinse them, throw those guys in there. Super simple. The most important thing in chili is the beans. These beans here are magic, okay? Bush's chili beans. I get the medium. I don't, I can't really change the glare on there, but you get it. Medium chili sauce chili beans. Don't drain them. Don't rinse them. These are fabulous. The best beans that you can put in your chili. Don't do white beans. Don't just do the pinto beans. Get you the Bush's chili beans in the medium sauce. If you can't find medium sauce, it's totally fine. But these right here are gold in your chili. So they come with this fabulous little sauce in there. You're going to dump that whole can in. And now the beans are done. And that's very easy. So we're going to get those stirred in here. And then we're going to get our mater sauce. See how easy this is, y'all? The most difficult part is cutting up your peppers. And if you do it how I showed you, it's a breeze, I promise you. And I'll show y'all how pretty this is before we get the sauce in and how big this pot is filling up. That's why I say 2 pounds of ground beef will feed a crowd. See how pretty that is? It's absolutely gorgeous. It's not done, not even seasoned, doesn't have its mater sauce. All right, so now for your mater sauce, you're just gonna get regular old tomato sauce. Nothing special about it, nothing serious going on, just regular old tomato sauce. Same thing, I use Great Value, why not? It's all the same. It's just mushed up tomatoes. And we're gonna drop that whole can in, and this is a pound. I do have an extra little can over here, just in case I need more. I do have a 15-ounce can, just in case. But we'll kind of see how we're getting along here. So right now we've got a 1 pound can, 29 ounces. I knew there was an ounce on there. So we've got a 29-ounce can of tomato sauce. Just plain old tomato sauce. Ain't nothing special going on there. No extra anything. Just some tomato sauce. We're going to get that stirred in. And it is pretty thick. So I am, and you can judge your chili. You'll see. You want it to have a little bit of, you don't want it to be too thick. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this 15-ounce can. So when you're making chili, just pick up your 29 ounces. If you're using 1.5 pounds of ground beef, you probably wouldn't need this. I am using 2. So I'm going to go ahead and throw a little bit more. We're just going to go ahead and add the whole can. So if you're using 2 pounds of ground beef, then you are going to use a 29-ounce can of tomato sauce, and you're going to use a 15-ounce. Oh yeah, much easier to work with. That's better. And y'all will get my recipe. And again, if you're only using 1.5 pounds of ground beef, that 29-ounce can absolutely would have done it for you. Okay, so now you've got my secret ingredients, or as Teresa would say, ingredients is, which I love. So, seasoning. On to that next. Stewed maters. You're going to change people's lives when you make them this chili. I cannot tell you how many times I've gone to family functions, had people over, and just oh my gosh, Lacey, it's the best chili I've ever had, or, you know, I need the recipe. I've had so many people ask me for this recipe. That's why we're doing this video. And you will get that same result. So since we're not using no raggedy chili packet, we're going to start with our chili powder. You're going to get the exact recipe. Follow me on Instagram, but you're going to eyeball this. So I'm going to do a hefty palm of my chili powder. Don't be afraid. We've got a lot going on in here. So you're going to use a nice palm size. We'll probably be adding a little bit more. Oh yeah, where I can tell by looking at it. So we're going to go ahead and do 2 palms of your chili powder. Okay? And we'll taste it, and let's see if we need to add a little bit more. Garlic powder. We're not putting any fresh garlic in here, so we're going to go with a big, hefty palm of garlic powder. And again, probably going to do a little bit more of that. Okay? Isn't this nice? You don't need spoons. You don't need all of that. Your hands. Y'all have heard of like, you know, Southerners joke around that we make biscuits with our hands. We do. We scoop out our flour. we literally do it all with our hands, and it's the best. Paprika, same thing. Fill that up in your palm. People say that paprika has no flavor. It depends on what you're using it in, because I add it to a lot of things. Pepper, not as big of a palm, but you're probably going to be at about 1.5 teaspoons of your black pepper. Use ground black pepper, y'all. I do have a pepper cracker up here. You don't want those big chunks of hard pepper in your chili. Definitely get you some fine ground black pepper, okay? Because the big chunks of pepper, there's a bite to them. Sometimes they're so spicy, they get stuck on your tooth, and then your head's on fire. No, yeah. And I know I have some salt here, yes. So you're gonna get your salt. And you're probably going to be looking at about a tablespoon of salt in the palm. And you can see these spices just sit on top of there. How pretty. So we're going to get this stirred in, and we'll give it a little taste test. So you saw we had 2 palms. We had 2 palms of the chili powder. And we had 2 palms of the garlic powder, 1 palm, and don't, you know, cup it, just in the palm here. 1 little palm of your paprika, and then salt and pepper. You don't need to use onion powder, because we used half of a Vidalia onion in here. That's going to give you a lot of fabulous, fabulous onion powder, onion flavor. It's going to give you a lot of fabulous onion flavor. Onion is very potent, and that's an ingredient that will literally take over a dish, and that you just don't want that, I'm telling you. You don't want your onion to take over your entire dish. So you're getting all that stirred in. Now these flavors are going to have to, what we call in the South, marry. That means you're not going to get a full understanding of your flavors here until it's had time to marry and cook together. Those vegetables simmer down, become part of that sauce. Everything's got to marry together. So when you first taste your chili, don't go crazy with your seasonings. It needs more. Wait about an hour and then taste it. We're going to taste it. But you're going to wait about an hour. And then at that point, you'll say, you know what? I want a little bit more spice. Do a little bit more black pepper. Then do a little bit more sprinkle of your chili powder. You could do a little bit more of your garlic, a little bit more of your paprika. But we'll do an initial taste. But wait about an hour to really decide what it is that you want to add a little bit more of. Because I've added some more chili powder and then been like, oh, okay, I was fine where I was at. Now we got some spicy chili going on. So we've got all those seasonings mixed in. We're going to give this a little taste. And now I have a little baby wooden spoon somewhere, probably in my dishwasher. So I'm going to get one of these little spoons. Let's give this a little taste. Oh, Lord have mercy, that's good. That's unbelievable. So me, I've been making this chili since I was 17. Thank you to my granddaddy. I love that man. He is my granddaddy, like a father to me. He's everything. I have so much respect for him. So I've been making this since I was 17. So I can really kind of tell where I'm at and what it needs. So we're going to do another small palm of garlic. So we're at about 3 palms total. I do need a little bit more salt. And I'm going to get all this measured for y'all, so don't you worry. We're going to do another small palm of salt. Even though that's the easiest. I don't know how you would write it down to give it to somebody else. 4 palms of chili powder. You know, I don't know how well it would go. We are going to do a small little baby palm chili powder. So we're at 3 chili powders, 3 garlic powders. And we are going to go ahead and we're going to be at 2 little palms of paprika. I probably will hit it with a little tiny bit more black pepper. Not a whole lot, because again, this is going to marry together. And it's really going to come to life in about an hour. So again, right now, your veggies are raw. All your ingredients are raw. So give this chili at least an hour to marry together, to come together. And it really is so fabulous. You're going to love it. So again, you're going to make sure that you cook your ground beef. Not out of a tube. Let it cook all the way on a medium heat. Don't cook it higher than a medium because you don't want those little pieces to stick to the bottom and then they get too dark and it's not cooked evenly. So cook it on a medium heat. I like to say low and slow is the way to go. Drain it. Get all that out. I got it right here. I'll show you what I use. A pasta strainer. That's what I strain my ground beef with. That's the way to go. Don't drain your chili. That's how I strain my ground beef. Get that grease out, put it right back in there. I let it cook for another couple moments because any of that fat that's kind of reserved in there is going to cook off and cook in. Then you're going to add your stewed tomatoes, all your veggies, your bell peppers, your onion. You're going to add your chili sauce after you do your beans. And then that's when you're going to get all your little seasonings in. And you're going to turn this down to a low heat. Not too low, but you know, on my dial it's a 3. So a nice low simmer. And like right now where I'm at, it's 5 o'clock. And we usually eat a little bit later because my husband and I, we like to get the kids to bed. And we like to snuggle up together and put on one of our favorite shows. And we always like to eat dinner together. Our children, they eat their little dinner together. You know how small children are. Sometimes I make them multiple dinners. My youngest will eat chili. So she might have some of this tomorrow. But it's 5 o'clock here. So we'll probably eat about 7. And, 2 hours, these veggies are going to be so soft. Your stewed tomatoes are going to keep falling apart. Everything's going to come together. Those veggies are going to get nice and soft, but they're still going to have a nice bite to them. They're not going to be soggy, clear mess that don't look like vegetables. You're going to get a spoon, and it's just going to look so beautiful. So let's see. That's perfect. That's perfect. I can tell as it cooks, I won't have to add anything else. It's not going to need nothing else. So we did 3 palms of the chili powder, 3 palms of the garlic powder, and then we did 2 palms of paprika, 2 small palms of salt and pepper. And that really took us right where we needed to be. And it's delicious. And just like that, dinner is done. And I like to shred some Colby Jack. Well, actually, my husband shreds all the cheese because he's really strong. But we're going to shred some Colby Jack. And I'm going to put that on the chili and stir it around and it'll melt in. And then we'll eat it with tortilla chips. It's divine. Or you can put a little cheese in it and add some oyster crackers. You can make up some cornbread if you want. You don't have to put cheese on it. Really, chili is, eat it how you like it. But that is it. Dinner is done, y'all. It took us 30 minutes. It took me about 10 minutes to chop up my veggies and about 15 extra. So 45 minutes, home-cooked meal. It's divine. It's ginormous, so you've got plenty of leftovers. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous, y'all? Plenty of leftovers. You can send your husband or send your wife to work the next day with a good bowl of chili. You can have some friends over. You can make a big batch of chili, cool it completely, freeze it, take it out later. So definitely try this. I promise y'all will love it. You'll never make your chili another way. You'll never go down the seasoning aisle with your buggy and get one of those little bags of chili seasonings. You'll never do it again. And you can say you make your chili from scratch. That's scratch, okay? So thank y'all so much for joining me. I hope you like this video. Let me know when you make this chili. Please send me pictures. I would love to see your pictures and your feedback, your nice feedback, please. And that is it. So thank y'all for joining My Southern Kitchen. You can find me on Instagram at MySouthernKitchen_. It added underscore at the end. That was not me. It was Instagram. But add me, follow me. Thank y'all so much for your support. I hope everybody has a great rest of their day. And let's end the winter with a nice warm bowl of chili and welcome spring. Okay, bye y'all.